Hey, my name is Shane, and I'm one of the guys on the leadership team here at Upward Sports. And whenever I get a chance to talk with pastors or leaders at a church, one of the questions that I love to ask is, what is your most successful community outreach ministry? It's so encouraging to hear all the different ways that the Lord prompts churches to connect with their communities and ultimately share the love of Jesus. Do you know the answer to that question for your church? Have you ever considered using sports as an outreach ministry? Well, if not, you're not alone. During a recent survey, over 650 churches that do not use Upward Sports, 54% said they had never considered using sports as an outreach ministry. Meanwhile, 72% of those same churches thought that using sports could be an effective way to minister. So the question is, does using sports as intentional ministry really work? Well, last year, Upward Sports partnered with over 2,000 churches throughout the United States and helped them connect with over 500,000 young athletes and their families. At the end of the season, we asked these churches to share their thoughts and opinions about Upward Sports. 98% of churches shared that using Upward Sports is a great way to connect with their community. Another 98% of churches believe that Upward Sports is a program that's effective in sharing the gospel. And 97% of churches recommended that they do Upward Sports again next year because of the impact. And last, 94% of churches said that Upward Sports is considered an intentional outreach ministry for their church. I'd like to introduce you to Michelle Thomas. Michelle is a Christ follower, a mom, a coach, and an active member of her congregation looking for ways to share the love of Jesus with her community. Listen as she talks about why she appreciates the fact that her church does Upward Sports from an outreach perspective.
Well, I appreciate the fact that this church does Upward Sports because not all kids who play Upward attend this church. It is a really community focus, so it is reaching out to kids who are in other churches or families who have no church home. Maybe this is the only church that they get. Maybe this is something that their parents will say, I like it here. It's a great community focus, and it's not about whatever church the Upward program is in. It's about spreading the love of Jesus Christ. We are made to be disciples of Christ, to reach unto the nations, and maybe that is your neighbor.
A special thanks to Michelle for taking the time to share the value that she and her church put on using sports as an intentional outreach ministry. Her comments are representative of most of the churches that we work with, and the results speak for themselves. Of the 500,000 athletes that played Upward Sports last year, over 40% of them came from unchurched families. If you'd like to tap into the power of using sports as an intentional ministry, or to ask more questions, please visit upward.org/get involved. We look forward to hearing from you soon. Upward Sports, play with purpose.